speaker. Her name is Bree-Ze, rhymes with Mulan. She was named after Mulan by her sister, right? By her sister. Mulan was her favorite character. Y'all see the rolling thing. But Bree-Ze is 23 years old, an entrepreneur, doing some really great things that she's going to share with you guys today. Want you guys to understand that, like, entrepreneurship sometimes hits all of us at different places. And so, like, the really cool thing about Bree-Ze is that she's been in entrepreneurship ever since middle school. And her first business was in baked goods. So, yeah, you know, that moved my heart. So, all right, Bree-Ze, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, we're excited to be here. So my name again is, yes?
Said page 12.
No, I was letting him know, page 12. And
Oh, yes, because you guys need to take notes
Mm.
about the speakers. You're going to need to gather some information. That's how I make sure y'all paying attention.
All right, so B-R-I-L-A-N-N. Go there. I don't know what they were doing.
R-I-L.
A-N-N.
Yeah, this still looks different than what I said, but they told me how to say it like this. Y'all got it? Okay, so yes, I'm Bree-Ze Coleman, C-O-L-E-M-A-N, correct. I am 23 years old. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am an author. I am a founder and CEO, but most of all, I'm an innovator. So for me, I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory. As she stated, I started my first business when I was 12 years old, fresh into middle school, and I started out with baked goods. It was something that I just enjoyed doing. I was obsessed with cake boss as a kid, and I just, whipping it up. I thought that was my thing. And it became lucrative, from family and friends to outsiders and people's co-workers. And my mama was like, girl, wait a minute, charge them people. Get your coin, baby. And so we went ahead and turned it into a full-scale business, from business license, registration, legitimation, and I had a business at 12 years old. And from then, just growing up, things started to change. I was no longer interested in baking, and so from the age of 12 all the way to 18, I have owned over 6 businesses. From baking, I was in skincare, hair care products, I do graphics and web design, social media management, photography, videography, and so I've kind of just been all over the place, right, kind of trying to find my thing as I got older, like what is it really that's going to keep me involved, keep me passionate, but most of all, keep my attention, right? I say that to say I am today a fully functioning adult with ADHD. Okay, it took me a while to get there, but that's what I have, okay, and it is all right. But over the years, what I really learned is finding what my purpose is, right? Because you can have a passion in a lot of different things. Hence why I had all those businesses. I started and I stopped, right? Because I had passion for them, but you lose passion. But purpose is forever. And so it took all of those different businesses and trials for me to learn that my passion and my purpose in life is to help other people start businesses, right? But I wanted to do it for my peers, the kids my age, to understand and know that entrepreneurship and financial freedom has no age limit to it. You can have that at any point, If we are talking about people outside of our culture, their children's children come in financially free, right? And so I want to provide that for my people, for my community. I want them to be able to have that same luxury as well. And so it starts with training us a little bit early, right? And so I came up with the BSOY Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization here in Memphis, Tennessee.
What's the name of it again?
BSOY. Stands for Be So You. So I started my philanthropy work with BSOY in 2015. And it was initially just kind of like a community event. I didn't really know where to start or how nonprofit or philanthropy worked. I just thought if it was free, that's what it was. Until my mama and them said, listen, we're taking all out of our pocket to give to these people, and that's great. Until I had done that for like 3 years, and they was like, look now, we gotta figure out some kind of way for we ain't gotta break our pocket to give back, right? And so in 2018, I actually got my organization registered as a nonprofit 501c3 organization. So y'all kind of see that there was a 3-year gap before I was even really doing the work legitimate, right? And sometimes it takes that. As she said, sometimes you know, do the business before you do the business, right? And so since then, in 2018, we have been in school systems, we have worked with summer camps, we've been partnering with the city of Memphis for youth summer programs where they pay interns to come in and work, right? And so a little bit about BSOY, what we do is we teach entrepreneurship to youth and minorities. So we focus on the age gap of 13 to 25. And we have a 12-month cohort where we teach them entrepreneurship from start to complete finish. All the way from business legitimation, idea concept, building your business plan, to legitimation, getting funding, pitching. Everything that you guys here are gonna be doing, we do the same thing, but for your children, your younger siblings, your cousins, your nieces. That's what we do. And aside from our entrepreneurship program, as of late, the past 2 years, we've been structuring out 2 other initiatives. So our second one is performing arts. Some people don't know this. I'm actually an artist. Wow, I do music. Wow. But performing arts is something I've been doing since I was about 12 years old. I come from a musical family. My dad did music, my mom, my grandparents, and so it was kind of just came natural, so to speak. But I actually don't like music industry. It sucks. It's not fun. You don't get to control nothing. I'm a control. You don't get to do nothing you want to do. And so I realized that I just actually like performing, right? It's a great feeling. It's a high you can't get from nothing else in the world being on a stage. It's wild. And so we have a performing arts initiative, STACK, the Support the Artist campaign, where we do a 12-week boot camp, walking them through the process from artist development, artist boot camps. We have partnered with Coalition DJs. We're partnering with artists like Drummer Boy and Gorilla Zoe to come in and mentor these artists in our city. Because if don't nobody else know it, Memphis is the hub for the music. This is where it all started. Okay. And so that is our STACK program. And lastly, of this last year or so, I have come up with a women's initiative for gender equality. I am one of 3 girls. I'm a middle child, and I love my sister. I am a girl's girl at heart, y'all. I love it. And when I got out here in the world as an adult, I realized women aren't girls. A lot of them. They real mean. Baby, they be real mean. And I wasn't used to that when I got outside my house, because we real knit. Like, we're girls. We support each other. And so I created the Influence Her community, which is for women ages 13 all the way up. And this is to really create a sisterhood, because we got to get back to women supporting women, right? We got to get back to having each other's back. Hey, sisters, a little catch that. Hey, use this word, not that word, right? And not feel so judged or like somebody's picky. And so that is what the Influence Her community is all about, bringing us back to sisterhood, collaboration, networking, and creating that family initiative that's really needed. And so that's our little spiel on the BSOY Foundation. Our pillars are entrepreneurship, performing arts, community development, economical rebirth, and gender equality. And that is the BSOY Foundation.
Yay! All right. So this is the part where, like, we open up the floor for you guys to be able to talk to Bree-Lon and ask her questions. Really kind of open up the dialogue so that you can start talking to your speakers about, like, real life challenges, like things that you are maybe thinking about that you feel like are related to her business, so that she can give you, like, real-time feedback. And I will say that, for one, I should have guessed at the performing arts, because she naturally just, like, doesn't seem to have a shy bone in her body. And it's like, hey, yeah, I got this, and I got the energy, and I'm up there. And so, like, everybody doesn't have necessarily that naturally. So maybe a question that you can ask is like, hey, have you always naturally been able to just stand up and talk about your business? Or are there things that you do that help you stay in alignment? Because if you were listening, not only did she tell you about her business, but she went back and repeated her pillars for you in case you missed one, right? And so she did some things that were very like important elements of being able to present your business to people to help them remember, because you know your business, but when you're talking to somebody else, you got to do stuff to help them remember your business. So, Bree-Line, you want to answer that question?
For me, I guess it's kind of like been hammered and nailed into me, right? As I said, I do come from an entrepreneur background. My parents, I'm 23 today. I've never seen them work a job in the 23 years of my life. But, right, they could hand clap
from the other room.
And so for me, it's always been like a debate in my house about any decision I ever wanted to make, and I do thank my parents for that because it's allowed me not to be influenced. I'm always kind of sure in my decision. And I think the most important thing is just have somebody to bounce off of, right? And as far as like being confident, that's like the biggest thing that I think got instilled in me. Like, do you really want to do this? How bad do you really want it? Are you sure? This is you gonna stick with it? That's the biggest thing. I don't stick with a lot of stuff. Don't be like, don't be like, it's not my fault. Don't charge it to me. But just kind of having that confidence. You gotta absolutely know this stuff, the back of your hand. Getting up and speaking and talking about your business. This is from 2013, 2015 to now, right? So it took all that time for me to be able to spill that out to you like that. It wasn't like I memorized this over the last 2-3 months. This is time, this is energy, this is passion, this is my plan. That's another thing. I know a lot of people who they get partners, they get opinions, they get feedbacks, and start to build off of that and don't go with what's in here and what's in here. Why did you do this? What is the actual reason? What's the purpose? Why did you start this? If you stick to that and make that your foundation, spitting out and telling your business will be easy. Because you won't have I remember my mama said I should say this, or I remember somebody said I should involve or include people this age, or people do gender focus, or this or that, right? But if you truly do what you wanted to do and what your passion was with God, I don't know about y'all, but what God put on your heart and what God told you to do, and you move on that, you'll just spit it out. You're just going to be regurgitating. It's going to come natural.
Okay, somebody else have a question?
You spoke about your great presentation. You spoke about your influencers being your parents. Oftentimes in business, have you been challenged to find outside mentors or leadership?
Yes, I really have. And it's a couple reasons for that. One, I've always kind of just been the youngest person in a lot of rooms. And a lot of people, I had to, again, when it comes to speaking, I had to learn to make myself heard when I was in a lot of rooms, whether it's because I'm the youngest person, whether it's because I'm the only black person in the room, whether it's because I'm the only girl in a lot of these rooms. I'm always the minority in a lot of rooms when it comes to business or entrepreneurship. And that's in all of those different fields and industry I told you about, right? And I just kind of, you got to be a shark in the water, I'm just telling you. You got to get in where you fit in, as they say. And so it was very difficult to find outside help. I'm still trying to find good, loyal, motivating people to support me and mentor me along the way, because I don't know everything. This nonprofit philanthropy world is real big out here. It's really big, right? And it's a lot of things I don't understand. But the biggest thing I learned is to know the language, right? That's helped me in a lot of rooms. I may not know what I'm saying in I've been in a lot of rooms. I ain't know what I was saying, but I done picked up on, ooh, he said these words. Let me go back, because that got somebody's, whatever he said, got that man attention, who write the checks, who write the grants, who can connect me to somebody who got the money if he ain't got it. So let me go figure out what that means. Hold on. I've literally been in rooms and went, what that mean? Oh, and now I know how to use that in my vocabulary, so let me go test it out. And so and so, they surprised I know what I'm talking about, and I just learned that 5 minutes ago in the corner. And so a lot of times language will be the barrier between finding the right people.
Aaron, you look like you brewing a question. I see it. It's all in there.
No, I agree. That's a lot of.
And I think that's a important part of this interaction too. So like when you guys have speakers in the room, it's okay to be the peanut gallery. You can, like, if you want to say amen, you can shout amen. Did you like agree? Or you like, yep, I'm feeling that. Something that I in a program that I was in with the Aspen Institute, they taught us resonance, right? And so you don't necessarily have to say anything. You can say that resonates with me, right? To let that person know, like, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. So that you guys can do that with the speakers. Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, I got to sit back here and I don't want to, like, that's why they're here. And I'm gonna keep saying that every week, by the way.
I got one. Going back to the very beginning of your experience in business, if let's say there was 12-year-old in the room that was interested in starting a business, what did you learn?
You are horrible.
What is one lesson you learned at that time that kind of shaped your understanding of business going forward into your where you got it, like this is what doing business means at a
It's
early
okay
age.
to mess up. I ain't even gonna let you finish quick. It's okay to mess up. I am a perfectionist and I have been since I was a child. That's the parents' fault. But I think as a kid doing entrepreneurship, it almost feels like the mess ups that regular everyday adults and people have in businesses, those are lessons, those are risks that you took that may have failed. You just didn't get your return on your investment, things like that. But as a child, when you don't really understand those things, it's like, I messed up. You feel like you're in trouble. And a lot of times, and I teach this to my kids, you have to separate your mess ups with trouble as a child and realize that is a lesson, a risk that you took as a business owner. That is a very big difference, and it took me a really long time to learn that. I went through, when I first started baking, it wasn't like I was doing it forever. I just started watching Cake Boss, and I thought this could be fun, and I got in there and started doing stuff, and I was kind of good until it came to the decorating, right? And so for a while, I was just doing muffins and quick stuff I didn't have to decorate. Till I had a client who required some decorating. And I was in there, boy, I was trying real hard. I called everybody in the house, and when nobody no good, I ain't had no assistant. I meant that with my whole heart, y'all. I ain't had no assistant, because nobody helped me make it look no better than what I did. And so I had to realize, ooh, either I'm gonna give them this cake, and they ain't gonna never talk to me again, or I'm gonna give them their money back, and they probably still won't ever talk to me again because I messed up their day. Whatever the occasion was for their order, I messed it up. You know, I inconvenienced that client at that time. And so sometimes you have to realize it's okay to say, I can't do that. I don't have that capacity. That's a big lesson that I've learned over the years. I just want to give you a high five for that one. Because, woo, I don't know how to do a lot of stuff, but I'm an avid YouTuber and Googler. And I'm gonna look it up and try before I tell you I can't. But I just stopped doing that. Kind of.
What had happened was,
You know, I still do it with the people I know, but you know, yeah.
Hey, I'd like to say, you may have noticed I'm sitting back here smiling as you're talking, but I have to say that I'm impressed being as young as you are, having the business knowledge that you have. Now, my question is, you said something about bringing in younger people, teaching them about business. Now, how do you go about, most young people they're a little bit hesitant, they don't have the confidence, okay? How do you go about instilling the self-confidence in them that they're gonna need to be a successful business person?
Honestly, because I'm so close in age with a lot of my participants, it's easy for me to be big sister, to be the cool friend, And honestly, I just stay relatable. I don't try to be anybody's teacher. I don't try to be anybody's instructor or coach or whatever. I'm just here to guide you and give you the information I know. That is all I can do. And you either take it or you leave it. I can't do no more than that. And so I just stay true to who I am at the end of it. I don't change my personality up for any room that I walk in. I did that a lot over the years, trying to figure out how to navigate business. Being that minority in the room, I was trying to fit into certain modes and talk like this, walk like this, dress like this, thinking that would help me be seen. It didn't. until I was me, till I was the black girl that came in there with the braids. So I was the black girl came in there with a short curly afro, speaking intelligently because I am intelligent and that has nothing to do with what I look like. Talking business because I'm educated and it has nothing to do with what I look like. When I realized those things, it just became easy. Just be you. Be your educated, intelligent, black, beautiful, bold self. And that's how I am with my students. Like, we friends. I'm telling you, that's a bad business idea. But let me tell you why. I also did that. But let me tell you why it didn't work for me. Right? And so sometimes I think when teaching people or educating people, we often go to our experience, excuse me guys, we often go to our experiences, which are good examples, but I never try to give my experience as a reason for you to do or not do something. That's the biggest thing.
Y'all too quiet. Then she gonna run up out of here and you gonna say, nigga, you know what I wanted to ask her. I'm like, that was last week. She gone. Y'all should have asked her when she was here.
I do have some business cards, so we just go take one pass in case y'all think of something later. I'm an open book. Y'all can call me. Y'all can email me. Don't tell nobody else this. But I'm gonna answer that phone and I see all them emails. But I don't need everybody in the world. They got too much access to it.
Right.
That's another note. Access. Don't give everybody access to you. Yes, ma'am.
I'll ask this question. What has been, in your journey, what has been your biggest lesson?
Oh, Jesus. That's a good question. I should have locked out the room.
It's probably the access.
Yeah, I think so. I have such a giving heart. I'm such an open book, and a lot of people have taken advantage of that without me noticing it until I was empty. You know how they tell you your cup is empty, you know? And it's hard to fill that cup back up by yourself once it is empty. And a lot of times people that you are pouring into, they don't have the capacity to pour back into you. Hence why they need you to pour into them. But as the pourer, you have to realize, okay, I ain't gonna get it back from you. So let me make sure I have somewhere to refill before I empty my cup.
Which goes back to Tierney and what she was asking earlier about like being able to find people to offer that type of capacity to you outside of just like mom and dad.
I think I have had some great mentors until they cups started getting empty. Cause what they were giving me, I didn't have the capacity to fill them back up, but they had nowhere else to go, right? And I think it's a great thing to recognize that early, because then you can be more appreciative to your mentors, to your guides, to your teachers, to your instructors, and realize, okay, I noticed you a little empty. I'm gonna let you breathe. I'm gonna let you refill before I come back, right? So I think that's a really important thing when you are an entrepreneur, when you're looking for guidance, when you're looking for help, making sure you don't burn your help out. Don't burn them out. Don't burn her out.
Like, woo, woo. All right, anybody else got any?
I think I got a question. I just haven't been able to form them in my head, but I found one that I think might make some sense. So, well, I guess I can speak more from my experience to ask the questions. So sometimes, like, I've been an entrepreneur for like 7 years with almost 3 years full time, and just one business. I'm very one track minded, so it's a little hard for me to be able. But sometimes in the business, when you get stuff done, like I'm a photographer, so like when my edits are done, all my inquiries are answered. Maybe I posted a little bit. You kind of get in that mode where you're like, ooh, I'm chilling. Like, but it's hard for me to stay in the like hustle of like creating, I guess, a outline of what to do next. Like, how would you say you stay in the hustle of like, all right, boom, I got that done, but I know I need to work on like my marketing plan or business plan. People always say that, like, what's your business plan for? I don't know. I post on Instagram and I go to networking events, so I don't really know how to like. I mean, of course, like I'm sure we'll learn it here, but like, how do you stay in just kind of like hustle mode? You don't kind of chill, because I'll go grab a drink as soon as I get done. So I'm like, how do I don't know, what do you do to kind of stay in the like, all right, let's get it.
I got stuff to do as soon as I get in the car.
Right.
For me, honestly, I'm a list girl. I'm a whiteboard. It's a whiteboard that big in my bedroom. because I'm a visual person. I can't write it. The technology don't work. I can't use notes to save my life on my phone. I can't use paper. I need it right there as soon as I wake up in the morning. And different things work for different people. So for me, again, the whiteboard works perfectly. And I got it in all these little nice categories, right? So I have my daily to-do list, which involves checking all of my 30,000 email accounts that I have. Checking my notifications for the day, making sure I post one time at least in the morning when I wake up on all my business pages, right? That's just a daily to-do list. Then I go over here on urgency. Urgent is what needs to be done in the next 72 hours. This may be some great for some, some y'all like me, 72 hours, that's your urgent list. Whatever needs to be done in 72 hours, go on that list. Then you do it weekly, and then I do a month, right? And that just kind of keeps me thinking. Even if I don't have things on that list, like you said, trying to stay in that hustle and bustle, you gotta remember, you should have some on all of them lists. And so just seeing those, and sometimes they blank for me, honestly, not because I don't got nothing I need to do, I just ain't thought of it yet. But seeing those things remind me, okay, the work ain't done. If it's nothing on that board, I'm missing, so I need to go find whatever it is. And then I start to research. I go into every aspect of the business and figure out what I'm missing. A lot of times, going and looking at competition helps. That's what I do. A lot of times when I get burnout, when I can't think of what to do next, when I just am complacent and don't want to do what I'm supposed to be doing, I go look at the competition that's out there. What is it that they doing? Why they staying in business? Why are they consistent? Why I keep seeing you on my timeline? Speak on it.
That's the biggest thing for
Follow
me.
your competition too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep tabs.
Yeah, so the key word is discipline, because that's one thing I like. But I like that listening.
I ain't even gonna say that because I don't find myself to be that disciplined.
I mean, look,
But the list helps,
Yeah,
just
I
to
love
have
the
those
list.
things, and if you
Yeah.
just keep in mind, if it's empty, I'm missing something, and that'll help me. And if you're not where you at, you ain't done. If you're not where you feel like you should be or want to be, you're not done. You gotta find what that next thing is. You're missing something because you ain't there yet.
Okay, anybody else? 3 Ds? Y'all got some questions? Well, let's give Bree-Line a hand of y'all, I would tell you, I'm usually a little bit more together, but today I am running my words together because I said y'all give her a hand of applause instead of a round of applause. Give her a hand.
We know what you
Oh,
mean.
Lord,
understand.
okay.
Yeah, we understand.
So we truly appreciate you coming out today to speak with us, and I know that we will definitely have you come out and speak in other gatherings as well, so just go ahead and brace yourself and get yourself ready. We are in 14 different schools across West Tennessee, and we teach entrepreneurship in those classes, and I am already in my mind formulating like Callin, who's our director of education. Make sure you come out to some of them cohorts.
Awesome.
So-
And thank y'all for having me barge in on y'all class.
Yes.
I wish y'all all the success. Y'all got it. Y'all got a great instructor. As long as y'all pay attention, stay vigilant, stay observant and open-minded. Entrepreneurship, you don't fly that thing, ain't nothing. Y'all got it.
You got it.